What it is, guys, it is IPossessThePower, aka Jordan, and welcome back to the channel. We have finally finished the Black Ops 7 Co-op Campaign Mastery Grind and unlocked the new camo Genesis. In this video I'll be sharing with you guys all my tips and tricks to hopefully help make your guys' journey smoother to acquiring this camo. And the first thing we're going to be going over is the class setup. You see here I have Gunner, Tactician and Daredevil as my skill track, with the grappling hook and the active camo. Daredevil's to help us fly in the air longer, Tacticals to have more grappling hook uses, and Gunner for the faster reloads. And then we have active camo as the fail safe. If we're about to go down, we can just go invisible and get out of the fight and reset. So with the setup out of the way, guys, let's jump into the video. So the majority of our farm will be done over here in this tier 3 zone on the left hand side. What we're going to be doing is following this wall or ridge line up here to about the halfway point. This has a dense amount of zombies as well as quick spawns, and it mixes in really well speed and difficulty, so we're not sitting in a tier 4 zone making it way harder than it needs to be. And we also speed up the process by only having to get to level 30, I recommend, before coming to this area. Obviously you can do it earlier, but I do recommend taking the time to get a couple games in to get to around about level 30 for the damage increase, and this will really speed up this process. Now you might have other players here, but that's okay, because we have that whole ridge line. You can easily split up, and the zombie spawns are really quick and also very dense, so you guys should have no problem grinding out your initial camos. They're going to be our critical kills, our special category of camo challenges like kills with 8 attachments, kills with a 4x scope, kills after sliding, point blank kills. All of those kind of camos are going to be done in this area here, and it's pretty much just going to make for a very fast gameplay and very fast camo grind. I was getting around about 250 critical kills in about 5 minutes. So if you guys get set up, you can really pump through these initial camos as you see here. So once you've done your initial camos, you will move on to the special camos. Most of them are pretty self-explanatory, like I said, with kills with 8 attachments, etc. But there are a couple that I wanted to touch on. So one of the challenges requires you to kill 50 guild tech enemies. There are about 6 of these categories spread out throughout the whole camo grind, and at the start it was a little bit difficult to figure out what actually was and was not a guild tech enemy, but I got it nailed down, so that hopefully I can save you guys a bit of time having to figure it out yourself. But essentially a guild tech enemy is the guild robots. Now this is not the rhinos or the dogs or any of the other ones that you might come across. It is specifically the kind of human, as you'll see in a second, robots, and we can find these or target farm them specifically through grid takedowns. You see here, this is the icon for it, and I am at one now. As soon as you get close, it'll change to charging stations, and these are your guild tech enemies. They just start as kind of folded down robots on the ground, and what we're going to do is activate this charge station, and once you've done that, they are going to pop up. Now these are your guild tech enemies here. When we're target farming for this camo, we want to be doing it in a tier 1 zone, as when you start pushing into the higher zones, you will start getting dogs and other enemies which do not count towards this. We just specifically want these kind of human robot looking ones, not the other big mechanized ones. You see here that when you actually activate the charge, a VTOL will spawn in, and that will always drop you 2 of these guild tech enemies only in the first zone. When you go in the other zones, sometimes they will not drop them. So if you're going to target farm this camo for the guild tech kills, make sure you're doing it in zone 1. And also note here, when you kill them they explode, and it actually blew up the one next to it, and that will not count towards your progress. So just keep that in mind. You see here the VTOL comes, I get my 2 kills. So if I'd done this all correctly with all kills, I would have got 10. So minimum you will have to do this 5 times in a tier 1 zone to get the camo. You can come across them in the world, you might get a random 1 or 2, but this is the best way to grind this camo out. So the next camo challenge I wanted to go over with you guys in the special category is get 25 kills against dogs, sentry turrets or drones. Now initially I did think that this was going to be a pretty tedious challenge, however I did find a very good strategy that you guys hopefully can use in your games to speed up this process. Now initially I did think that you would have to grind it out with sentry turrets at command centers or surprise shipments by killing the dogs, hopefully getting lucky. However, I did find this activity called surveillance control. Now in this one you are going to get a main drone, and what this drone is going to do is it's going to call in a bunch of little drones, as you see here, and these count towards your kills in this category. You need 25 of them. This can be done in any zone. Obviously, if you can do it in a lower zone, it should make it a little easier, and just be aware that they do make noise, which might attract enemies, so just be wary of that. This is the icon for it, so you want to be looking for this drone inside of that green circle, and once you find it, go ahead and get its attention, and then it's going to spawn in these little drones which you can shoot there. And as you see, once I kill my last one, I will get this challenge done, and with that, that will be all of our initial challenges with our criticals, etc., and all our special camo challenge category. We can now move on to our gold category. So the gold camo challenge, that requires us to get 20 special kills. A special enemy can be a mimic, a mangler, a doppelgast. There are activities in the map called prime targets that can also have special enemies, but then sometimes they can also be elite enemies if they're titans, so that can be hit or miss. They can be the titan commanders from the command centers as well. Pretty much anything that you kill, if it says special enemy eliminated on screen, that will let you know that it is a special enemy. As you see, when I kill this here, it'll say special enemy eliminated. So we can use the strategy which I showed you at the start of the video to go up and down that ridge. You get a good spawn of special zombies there, but sometimes you can go stretches with nothing. I will show you guys the strategy that I use to get this challenge done, and that is going to be exfil target farming. Now the way that this works is when you go and call in the exfil, you are going to get anywhere between 1 and 3 special zombies at the start, and then as soon as you have killed enough zombies and the elite spawns in, you can also get another 1 to 3 special zombies. The most I've ever had in one exfil initiation is about 6, and the lowest I've had is about 3, and it can take you around about 1.5 to 2 minutes to complete that, so that is a good investment in time to get these kills. You see here that I completed the initial exfil, and I'm on my way to the next one, and this is all done in the tier 3 zone. All the camo is, apart from the last part which I'll show you, which will be the elite kills. And on our way to the next exfil location, because they are set up in a triangle, you'll be flying over the area and you'll notice or listen out for the sounds of special enemies spawning in. So as you're flying around between exfil to exfil, you guys will hear these special zombies spawn in, so you just want to go ahead and land and take them out, and this is a good way to get a couple kills as you guys are moving between the exfil locations. So we're at the next location. This is the second exfil point, and you'll see here that I started the exfil and immediately have a mangler spawn in, and that is going to be followed by another mangler right behind him. I will activate the elite boss, and I will also get a doppelgast spawn in right after that. So that's 3 here, 2 on the way here, and 4 at the last one. So that's about 9 special zombies in the space of, I would say, about 8 minutes. And we still have 1 exfil to go, and then we just make our way back to the first one, and it is just rinse and repeat. We just go around and around and around. And you guys, if done efficiently, should be able to get about 2 gold camos a game. That is obviously dependent on other players, etc. And just note that if you don't kill the elite, it will stay there. So when you go back to, say, your first one, if no one's dealt with it, that elite will still be there. So it's up to you if you guys want to deal with it earlier or deal with it later. You can just ignore them entirely if you can handle it. And anyway, for this next step, before we get on to it, we do want to get gold on every single camo, on every single gun, sorry, and I will show you guys why. So our next camo is the Moonstone camo, and that requires us to get 100 kills in either Zone 3 or Zone 4. I'm sure you guys guessed we're back in our Zone 3 area, our favourite zone along the ridgeline with the fast zombie spawns and dense area. With this one, what we want to be doing is just loading in with any weapon. It does not really matter, because if you guys have done the setup which I recommended, which was getting all your guns gold before you move on to this step, it'll make this a lot quicker of a process. But what we want to be doing is jumping in and killing as many zombies as possible. I landed in and got about 70 in a minute, so you can roughly do about 6 or 7 a game if you guys are quick enough. But you see there that I get my Moonstone camo on my gun. Now, if you haven't done the setup like I had recommended and you're doing one gun at a time, you'd have to exfil, do another gun and come in. However, if you have all your guns gold, what we can do is, once you guys have acquired Moonstone on one of your weapons, we can do activities in the map to get a random reward. Now, not all the activities will drop weapons, however a fair majority of them will. Now, the good thing about doing the gold trick, where you have them all gold before you come in, is that when you do an activity and you get a gun and say it was gold, this gun will count towards your camo progress. So this is a good way to just rinse and repeat. I do find myself doing command centers the most. I find that they have about 4 or 5 containers in them, so these are a good way to get guns that you have not completed the Moonstone camo on. You will find that towards the end, I would say about the last 5, you might have to exfil and start coming in with guns as it gets a bit random, because these crates obviously just give you random guns, so it will be very tricky to get what you need, and it's probably more time consuming doing this than it is for just exfilling and coming in with the gun that you need to do. And anyway, if you just do this, you guys will get Moonstone. You need to do it on all 30 of the weapons, and once you guys have done that, you are ready to move on to the next camo, which is going to be Chroma Flux. Now, the next camo challenge, called Chroma Flux, requires us to kill 10 elite enemies, and this is going to see us heading towards the tier 4 zone, so specifically up the top end of the map over here towards the middle of the map, and this is where we're going to be farming our elites, specifically mostly the marksman elites. There will be a few rhinos in this area, but most of them are going to be the elites, and the reason why is what we want to be doing is getting a orange rocket launcher. You can find these in command centers in the red zone. Just do a couple of those. It's pretty easy to get. Just make sure it's on your secondary weapon, and you can tell that by looking where the ammo count is. Whatever gun you have out, if the damage is at the top or the bottom, tells you which slot is in. So if it's at the damage at the top, as you see here, it's my main weapon, and if I change to my secondary, the damage will go in the bottom slot like there, so you know which slot your weapon is equipped to. Make sure that this rocket launcher is always in your second slot, so you don't actually swap it out on accident. And as you see here, what we're doing is we're just flying around, putting 2 shots into the marksmen, and then finish them off with the weapon that we want the camo on. In the space of getting here, we have killed about 4 or 5 elites in a couple of minutes. This is by far the best elite target farming strategy, and this is why we come in with active camo and grappling hooks, and we dedicated our skill tree to recharging grappling hooks faster. So when you're going for probably the most tedious part of this challenge, which is killing these elites, you're able to just consistently fly around, and especially if you are going to be competing with other people when you're going for this, you will just have the upper advantage by being able to just get there a lot quicker. Now, that is the best way to farm for elites in that tier 4 zone. However, I thought I would bring us back to our tier 3 zone up on the ridge, and you know it, we're going to be farming elites here, because why not? Eventually, if there is too many people and you just can't seem to be getting elite kills quick enough, we can come over to the tier 3 zone where we have disciples. Obviously more annoying, I find them more stronger, but I guess something is better than nothing, and if you're getting nothing, come back over to the tried and true ridge spot, and you see just in landing in, I already got 2 of these elite enemies. So this is another way that you guys are able to farm elite camos if you are struggling to find them in other places. Now, there are a couple of other things that we can do to get elite camos, and another one of that is doing exfils. exfils right at the end when you've killed enough of the zombies will always spawn an elite, but yet again they are way stronger and just more tedious to get towards. You have to fly in between each exfil to actually get one to spawn. As you see in the other strategy at the start, we can just jump between one and the other. Now there is one final piece of the puzzle, and what we can do is something called prime targets. Now prime targets are this icon here, and they have a chance to spawn an elite enemy in. And this is what I was saying at the start of the video when we were going for special kills. Sometimes these special ones will be elites when you're looking for specials, and sometimes they will be specials when you're looking for elites. So it is a little bit hit or miss with what you're going to get. But the final thing I will show you, and by far the worst way of doing it, is to do surprise shipments. These rhinos can be classed as elite enemies as well, but it is all RNG if you will get them. But you see here that once you have killed 10 with a weapon, you are going to get the Chroma Flux camo on your weapon. And now we can move on to our last and final camo, which is Genesis. So the reason for doing all the grind is finally here. We are about to get the Genesis camo, and that is for completing Chroma Flux on 30 weapons. So that is getting 10 elite kills with every single weapon. There are 30 weapons, so that is 300 elite kills. You see here I get my last elite kill with the last weapon. That gets me my final Chroma Flux, which gives me my Genesis camo. That was a hell of a grind, and I hope that if you have made it to the end, you guys have taken something away from this video. If you did, please leave it in the comments section below, and just know that I appreciate all your guys' support. It really helps me to be motivated to make more videos like this. I will be moving on to zombies next, and hopefully I can bring you guys something of substance over there. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like, comment or subscribe. It all helps out the channel. I appreciate all of you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Keep it real. Peace.
Are you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Are you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back?